samāvartō'nivṛttātmā durjayō duratikramaḥ durlabhō durgamō durgō durāvāsō durārihā.
Samāvartaha. Avartaha means to turn. Means everything comes and goes. Cyclic in nature. In nature, outside Mother Nature, everything is cyclic. The yugas come and go. They repeat after a particular time interval of time, whether it is small or whether it is big, everything keeps repeating itself. That which goes up comes down, that which is down comes up. This is how it is outside of us, externally, and within us also, at the universal level and at the individual level. So in nature we see yugas come and go, they repeat themselves, seasons come and go, the years come and go, months come and go, weeks, everything keeps coming, going and coming, going and coming. That which was unmanifest becomes manifest, then it goes back to unmanifest, again it comes back. So beautifully that Adi Shankara has given it out at individual level for us in his Bhaja Govindam. Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, punarapi janani jatare shayan. He doesn't say birth and then death, he doesn't stop there at all. He comes back to birth. So which means it is repetitive. Everything comes and goes. It's all cyclic. So if we take the entire solar system, our celestial spheres over there, everything is moving and it keeps repeating. Again it comes back. The sun is there, the planetary motion, they all come and then again they repeat themselves. They all move in a particular orbit and then they keep repeating it again and again and again. So in nature, in the cosmos, everything is very, very organized. There is rhyme, there is rhythm. That is why it's called as a cosmos. Otherwise it would have been a chaos. At the celestial bodies, their movement, Mother Earth, how she moves around her own axis also, and then around the sun, the moon, all of them follow a particular rhythm over there. Nothing is slow, nothing is fast. It's like everything is fixed. Similarly for us also, at individual level also, we come and go, we come and go. Festivals come and go. So that which was unmanifest becomes manifest, then it goes back into unmanifest, like that. That is what is the meaning of avartaha. And all of that takes place only in space and time. So the wheel of time has been set in motion by whom? By the Lord. He created time. So the wheel of time, that's why they call it as a wheel of time. Surya Bhagavan is supposed to be moving in a chariot. And how many wheels has it got? It's very funny, it's got only one wheel. Normally any chariot at least will have two wheels. If there is only one wheel, it will get off balance. It will tilt to one side. But then Surya Bhagavan moves around in a chariot which has got only one wheel, we are told. So more than going into the word meaning over there, it is a significance. Because Surya Bhagavan for us, the Lord Sun, represents time. So it's wheel of time. So Eka Chakra, one wheel only. The whole description is very beautifully given to us in Bhagavad. Because for us, Lord Sun represents time. So wheel of time. In the Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan talks about Karma Chakra. The wheel of karma has been set into motion, Bhagavan says. So we do our karma pala is there. Because of the karma pala, again we come, again do karma. So it keeps on going. We call it a samsara chakra, wheel of samsara, jivana chakra we call it. Who is managing all of these? Bhagavan is managing all of them so beautifully. Anybody else was there in charge of it, we know what would have happened. We will take a break and we'll say, sorry, I missed it out, I forgot. But Bhagavan is so efficient. Sama means very beautifully he makes sure that things are going on as per his program. He set some rules. He has laid down some rules. And he makes sure, and he administers them also. He makes sure everything happens at the right time. Not earlier, not later. So how efficient he is. We can't even comprehend it. Because he is the one who is managing everything. Individual level and at the universal level. Everything Bhagavan is managing over there. How beautifully he is managing it. So small little things like our heart, our lungs expanding, contracting, it's cyclic. Our eyelids, they close and they open, they close and they open. Who is in charge of all that? For small little things like that, which we feel is so insignificant to the planetary motion, all of them are so beautifully doing their job. And everything, like I said, is cyclic. There must be somebody very efficient behind it all, managing it all, and make sure everything happens at the right time. Who is that? Bhagavan. Therefore, samāvartā, he is the one who makes everything go around so beautifully. He turns over, or he makes everything, get into this cyclic movement very, very efficiently. No doubt about it at all. So, samāvartō'nivṛttātmā, there are two renderings because samāvartō'nivṛttātmā we say. So, they break it up into nivṛttātmā, but there are some who say, no, it is anivṛttātmā. Both the meanings we can explain out over here. So, nivṛttātmā, actually pravritti, nivritti, we have heard the terms very often. Pravritti means extroverted, going outward. Nivritti means going inward, introverted person. So, nivṛttātmā means one who is always resting within himself. One who is fully under his own control. He is a master of himself. So, he rests within himself. In his own glory, he rests. He doesn't indulge in anything else like how we all indulge. When there is no self-control, we become extroverted and we indulge in various activities. But Bhagavan is nivṛttātmā. He is the one who has got, if we give to him a form just like us in our own image and give to him eyes, ears, nose, tongue, skin, it's a way of expressing his glory, that's all. So a person who has got full self-control over all his sense organs, jnanendriyas and karmendriyas, we say man of perfect self-control, nivṛttātmā. He is an introverted person. So similarly, Bhagavan is also nivṛttātmā, means he doesn't indulge in anything, he doesn't need anything. He is so fulfilled within himself that he need not have to engage in any activity like all of us. Because we engage ourselves in activity because of desires. We are prompted by desire. But he has got no desires at all. He is completely fulfilled within himself. He rests within himself. In his own glory, he rests. He is so contented. He is so satisfied. He is so fulfilled. How to describe him? Nivṛttātmā. Or we can say anivṛttātmā means opposite of that. Means he is going out. Where is he going? Whatever he has created, he enters into it. He doesn't turn away or move away from anything or any being. So beautifully, both the meanings we can interpret it for the Lord. Nivṛttātmā is also okay, anivṛttātmā is also okay. So anivṛttātmā means one who never ever shuns away from anything, moves away from anything. Normally, if anybody is in trouble, they say, oh, I am God-forsaken person. None of us can be God-forsaken person. We can be man-forsaken people. All the people whom we thought were our support, they may leave us and go away. But Bhagavan can never ever leave us. He can never ever move away from us or turn away from us. Why? He has entered into everything and every being. From universal to individual, macro to micro. He is there in the solar system, he is in the planets, he is in everything, sun and the moon and the stars, Mother Earth, in the air we breathe, in the fire that we see burning over there, in the waters. And if we come to molecules, atoms, split the atom into its own particle, in every minutest particle, he is there in it, lending aliveness to that particle. So therefore, he has not turned away from anybody at all. He doesn't say, I want to enter into this or into these beings, but these things and these beings, I am turning away from them all. There is nothing like that at all. So in everything he is there. The best thing is the God particle that they have discovered. Supposed to be the tiniest, we can't see it, and in that particle, God is there. He is not moved away from it or turned away from it. It's so small, so insignificant. Nobody will even discover me in it. Why should I sit and let me move away from it? He is there even in the tiniest particles which has been discovered, and therefore they have called it God particle. So he is the very self or the very Atman in everything and in every being. External, internal, gross, subtle, macro, micro. The 10th chapter starts like that. Bhagavan's glories, Vibhuti Yoga. When Bhagavan starts to narrate all his glories, he starts with that. Because that is the most important of his glories. That he is a part of, he is an integral part of everything and every being. Sometimes we can be a part of something, but we can move away from it, and still that can still sustain itself. But Bhagavan is not like that. He is an integral part of it, so much so that if he moves away from anything or any being, that thing or that being will collapse, will cease to exist. So therefore, nivṛttātmā, or we can say anivṛttātmā, durjayā. Jaya means victory. Durjaya means one who is invincible. He can never ever be won over. Whoever counters him or stands against him, we know sure Bhagavan only is going to win. Why? God is truth. That is the meaning of satyameva jayate. We are not talking about vyavahara satya over here. Speak the truth. That is at our level. God is truth. And what does that truth mean? That which can never ever be denied in all 3 periods of time. That is truth. Satvastu it is. So truth, then we can bring God is Dharma. So where truth is, where Dharma is, there alone everlasting eternal victory can be. In between somebody can say, oh, I won a victory over this or that, or in some event, some occasion, it's going to be temporary passing phase. A child can come first, 100 on 100 this time, next time the child need not get 100 on 100. So for all our achievements, success, victory are all passing. Temporary they are. Now it is there, next moment it may not be there, or next time we may not get it. But Bhagavan says not like that at all. Anything, durjayā he is. He cannot be conquered by anybody. This is what has been beautifully dramatized in all those stories of those Rakshasas over there. So they've all got such unique boons. We think, how will Bhagavan ultimately annihilate or kill him who has got this unique boon? In that boon itself lies the formula for that Rakshasa's death over there. So ultimately, however mighty he is, however powerful he is, simple it is. Just because he is on the side of adharma, just because he is on the side of asatya, ultimately Bhagavan alone is going to win over him. So all of them have been dramatized outside for us, but actually it should be applied to us within ourselves. All the Rakshasas and the Asuras over there, they all represent our negative qualities, negative emotions, which are all lurking in dark corners of our mind, of our heart. And they've all got unique boons. Why? They've not come to stay in our mind for a short time interval. They want to be permanent in us. That is why we say it's so difficult for us to remove the bad qualities in us, to eradicate them. Why? They are all Rakshasas who are there in us, very mighty and very powerful. It's so easy for a good person to become bad, but for a bad person to become good is so difficult. Rakshasas there. So therefore ultimately we call the Lord to help us to remove all these negative qualities in us and negative emotions in us and walk the spiritual path, or walk the path of righteousness, walk the path of truth, walk the path of dharma. So we call him over there. So just as all those Rakshasas needed various weapons in the Lord's hand to destroy them, Bhagavan has to come with all the weapons. Again, all the weapons are very, very subjective. But all of them have been projected out and dramatized for us in all these beautiful stories. Just now, Navaratri is over. Mother Goddess, she's got so many hands, so many arms. Why? All of them are carrying only weapons, nothing else. So every hand, whether she has got 10 hands or whether she's got 8 hands or whether she's got 16 hands, Mother Durga, or in all of them she is carrying weapons. Why? Because each one of those Rakshasas has got one particular unique boon, and he has to be killed only in this way. And therefore, it's a spiritual journey for us, a spiritual, the Navaratri represents our spiritual journey from Mahalaya, Amavasya up to Vijayadashmi. So, Mahalaya, Laya means to dissolve, to destroy, to remove. Maha means total dissolution of what? Of the Amavasya that is there in us. Amavasya, Vasya means to be clothed in. So, Amavasya means I am clothed in ignorance, spiritual ignorance we are talking about. And where there is spiritual ignorance, there all the Rakshasas will be there in us. They are all hiding in us only because of our ignorance. The moment light comes in, the light of spiritual knowledge, all of them will make their exit. They can't survive. They can't stand light. The Rakshasas and the Asuras. So therefore, that is a sankalpa that is made on the Mahalaya Amavasya day. Then day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, we invoke Mother Goddess over there. Remove all the negativities in me. But nature abhors vacuum. Then immediately fill me up with all the positive qualities. So 3 days Durga is invoked. 3 days Lakshmi is invoked. Durga to eradicate or destroy all the bad qualities in us, the negativity in us. Then we fill ourselves up with positivity. Lakshmi represents that, all virtues, Lakshmi Sampat. Then only we become fit to be initiated into spiritual knowledge. Therefore, the last 3 days, Saraswati Puja. Akshara Abhyasa they do on Vijayadashmi day. Of course, the sequence of, the sequence in which we worship Durga, Lakshmi and Saraswati changes in different states. In Karnataka it is different, in Kerala it is different, in Bengal it will be different. But the main thing is this, what we are trying to accomplish within ourselves. So the Navaratri, all the 9 days, all that we are trying to do is move away from ignorance, move away from negativity, and enter into the path of positivity, or enter into the path of righteousness, the path of dharma, and after that only we can think of spiritual knowledge, and then mukti, moksha, etc. So it can be interpreted at various levels. For a beginner who is just about to walk the spiritual path, we can interpret it in a particular way. One who has already entered into spiritual knowledge, who has already been initiated into it, then the whole Navaratri is interpreted in a different way, because he is at a higher level. So it fits into everything. And then finally, after the 9th day, the 10th day is called as Vijayadashmi. Jaya means victory. Vi means Visheshena Vijaya, everlasting, permanent, eternal victory. It's a victory which once when it comes to us, it will never go away from us. That is the state of enlightenment, mukti, moksha. They say 9 days is enough, 9 plus 2 days. If a spiritual seeker is very sincere and walking the path of meditation, on the Vijayadashmi day, realization should happen. So after that, there is nothing else to do. Durjaya. So Bhagavan represents the state of enlightenment for us. So therefore, once we have reached that Vijaya, then there is nobody who can stand in front of him. So Durjaya means one who is invincible, who can never ever be conquered by any other force, how much ever powerful and mighty it is. Durjaya, duratikramaḥ, we can't step over him, we can't put him aside, and we can't cross our limits. Atikramaḥ means don't cross your limit. Duratikramaḥ means he is the one who is very difficult for us to cross. He says do this, do this, do this, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. It's called as natural laws for us. If we disobey it, then we know we will be in trouble. Simple, law of gravitation is there. It's not that Newton discovered it. Even before Newton put it in words, this law of gravitation, it was there earlier also. So it's Bhagavan's law it is. So he has told us not to disobey it. But supposing somebody says, I am a scientist, so what, let me try it out. And from the 10th floor, if he tries to fall down, if he falls down, we know what will happen. So therefore we should not cross our limits, we should not step over trespassing line. So the laws have been, he is a lawgiver, he is a law administrator, and the more we align ourselves to Bhagavan's laws, the better for all of us. So the mineral kingdom, the plant kingdom, the animal kingdom all align themselves to Bhagavan's law. It's only human beings who have been given this discriminative faculty, and we call ourselves as the roof and crown of creation, who choose to disobey. The more we disobey the laws, nature's laws, the more we will be in trouble. So the whole process for us is to align ourselves more and more to Bhagavan's laws. That Dasura has put it in very simple language. Hari Chitta Satya Nara Chitta Lavalesha Nadayadu, he said. Hari Chitta, Hari's will, Lord's will. What is Lord's will? Lord's will is Lord's laws, nature's laws. So duratikramaḥ means very difficult for us, means we will be in solid trouble and problem if ever we disobey then nature's laws. If you say electricity is there, so what? I am an electrician. I will with wet fingers put the switch on and put finger in the 2 holes or the 3 holes. We will know what will happen to us. Electric shock. So we should not disobey the laws of electricity. Similarly, so anything, the duratikramaḥ, we can never ever go against him. He is not stopping us. But if we go, if we disalign ourselves, if we are not in sync, if we are not in harmony with nature's laws, then we will have to face the consequences also of it. In the Kathopanishad it comes, there is a Sloka over there. It looks like Bhagavan is there with a whip in hand. It looks like. That is why everything is functioning so beautifully. We went to the first Nama, samāvartō'nivṛttātmā. The sun should do its job, the moon should do its job, Mother Earth should do her job. Every planet must do its job of moving around exactly in particular. Seasons must come and go properly. Just now we are in Sharad Ritu, autumn season. Autumn season cannot say, this time I will come a little late. Everything has to come at the right time. Who is doing it? Bhagavan is doing it. Making sure everything is going on properly. So, duratikramaḥ, durlabhā, durgamāḥ, durgāh, these 3 we will take it up together because they mean the same, almost mean the same. So durlabhā, labha means to gain, to obtain. Durlabhā means very difficult for us to obtain. Obtain him, whether it is we are doing saguna upasana or whether we are doing saguna upasana or whether we are doing nirguna upasana, both types, it is very difficult for us to obtain it's not easy. Anything else in the world we can obtain by putting in some effort extra outside of us, but this is something we have to gain within ourselves. So the whole process is very difficult. We have to turn around, become introvert, and whatever has to be achieved within ourselves. So therefore durlabhā, one who is very it's not impossible, it is possible, but it is difficult. So we don't have to keep a very pessimistic attitude and say Bhagavan is very difficult for us to obtain, therefore why should we walk the spiritual path? It's not impossible, it is possible, but it is very difficult for us. Why? It's a whole, again in the Kathopanishad it comes, not for years, through many births, janmas, our mind has been extroverted. So it's been programmed like that. So it's so easy for our minds to just move away from us, out of us, to become extroverted. We don't feel it as strain at all. We don't feel it an exhaustion at all. But to make the mind turn over, to take a U-turn and become introvert, is very exhausting for us and is very difficult for us. So durlabhā, since so many births through janmas, we have been programmed, or rather our mind has been programmed to be extroverted. Suddenly now if we tell the mind to take a U-turn and go within, it's very difficult. And all this realization, whether it is saguna or nirguna, is to see the Lord within us. So therefore durlabhā, very difficult for us to obtain the Lord's darshan, Ishvara darshan, saguna or nirguna. A lot of effort we have to put into it. Durgamāḥ. Gamana means moving. Durgamana means very difficult for us. The meaning is almost the same. Durlabhā, durgamāḥ. So durgamā means with great difficulty only we can approach him. We can reach him. Very difficult again for us to obtain. Therefore, durlabhā, durgamāḥ, durgā. Just now during the Navaratri we were worshipping Mother Durga. What does Durga mean? Durga means not easy for us to enter into, to storm the citadel, the fort. The forts that were earlier built by kings around their kingdom, we call it as Durga, fort. Means very difficult for anybody to cross the fort and enter inside, go inside. So Durga. Her name is also Durga, means very difficult, because Durlabhā, Durgamā. Very difficult for us to reach out to her, to approach her. We need to put in lot of effort, spiritual sadhana to enter in, and slowly go nearer and nearer to her. So it's not easy for us to storm into and meet her where she is. That's what Durga means. Bhagavan says in the 7th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, Daivi Hesha Gunamayi Mama Maya Duratyaya, he said. My Maya is divine, powerful she is, and very difficult to cross over her. Those who are aware of Sri Vidya Upasana will know. The Sri Chakra puja that many of them do at home, or even the Navaratri also. I think I did talk about the Navavarna Kritis over there. So she is right at the center, Bindu. At the center she is. How to gain access? She is Durlabha, very difficult. Durgamāḥ she is, Durga she is. But she is there at the center. And we are right away outside, far away, far remote from the center. How many forts are there? 9 forts are there around her, which are preventing us from reaching to her. And therefore every day, that is why Navaratri, every day we do our upasana such that we are able to storm into one, or we are able to move through one fort. So 9 wrappings we can say, 9 layers are there we can say, or we can also say 9 forts are there. Very difficult for us to cross over each fort. Slowly. So one by one. Day 1, 1 fort conquered. Day 2, the next inner fort conquered, second fort. Day 3, the third fort conquered. When we start conquering or transcending these various forts, all the forts are, they have their own presiding deities. So the power that is power and might that is associated with all those presiding deities will come to us. So finally on the 9th day we would have crossed over or stormed into the 9th fort, and then we are face to face with Devi over there. So that is why the next day is a Vijayadashmi celebration. Everlasting eternal victory means state of mukti or enlightenment. So Durgaha, durāvāsah. Āvāsah means shelter, a house, a dwelling, where we are all in a dwelling, a house where we are lodged in. We are staying over there. So durāvāsah means not easy to make him stay over there, to make the Lord, to contain him. Our house contains us. We say I am very, very secure in my house. That is why nivāsa comes from that word āvāsa. Āvāsa means a house or a shelter or a place, a dwelling wherein we are secure, we are in it, we are contained in it. We are settled over there, we are lodged over there. Durāvāsah means very difficult to contain the Lord over there. He is all pervading. Where will we contain him? When he is all pervading, how will we fix up some parameters over there and limit him? So therefore he was difficult to obtain. Therefore and it's not easy for us to put him into our heart also. We say God is there in my heart, I will bring him into my heart with all my prayers, with my devotion, with my faith. I want him to enter into my heart and stay over there permanently. Means we have made our heart a dwelling for him. We want to make our heart a dwelling for him, a place for him to stay. Is it easy? It's not easy at all. He'll slip and go away. Dasaru writes very, Chikkavanivanalla, Ivanalla, Sikkade Odi Hoguvanu. He's talking about Krishna over there, little Krishna, Balakrishna. The more we move behind him to catch him, we think after all he's a child. We are elders. Sure, we can catch up with him. If he's running, we can catch up with him. But it's very difficult. The more faster we run, the more faster he also runs away. So don't underestimate him. Chikkavanivanalla. He's not small. We think he is small. Sikkade odi hoguvan. The moment we think we've caught him, I have caught him, we have not caught him. It's a very beautiful. Two more songs are there, I think. One more. Pogadiralo Ranga Bagilindache Pogadiralo. Yashoda is telling Krishna over there, don't go out of the house. Every moment, the moment he gets up, he has his bath, he is all dressed up, he wants to run away. Run outside the house with his friends, play, steal butter, etc. So difficult for Yashoda to catch him and put him in the house over there. Durāvāsō. Every moment you are running away, every moment you are running away. Don't run away. Don't go outside my house. Don't cross the threshold and go. What do you want? You want butter? I will give it to you. The songs are all very cute, very nice to sing and to even, for dance, etc. We can take them, but then the significance of all of them. And this is the whole thing behind Yashoda tying up Krishna also. Now, he is very mischievous. One day she was sitting there and churning butter. It comes in the Bhagavad. She was churning butter and suddenly he says, I'm hungry. So she puts everything down and she's feeding him with milk. And she remembered that she has kept milk for boiling in the kitchen. Now it will overboil and all the milk will spill out. Therefore, immediately she just puts Krishna down on the ground and runs into the kitchen. He gets very angry. Attention seeking he is in a different way. How did she put me on the ground like that and run away to the kitchen? What was more important for her than me? He becomes very angry. What does he do? He sees all the curd pots over there, the butter pots over there. He sees the churning rod over there, takes up the churning rod and smashes them all. I will show her how important, she should give me all the importance and all the attention. She didn't give, he's broken them all up. And then he sees the butter over there. So he eats up all the butter, little more is there. He calls all the monkeys, calls them all up to the window. He feeds them all nicely. He's feeding the monkeys with butter. Yashoda comes and sees the whole mess over there. She's so angry. Actually, she wants to beat him. But then she doesn't have the heart to beat him. She says, I will tie you up. Because beating means pain will be there. So I'll tie you up. So she brings a rope and she goes running around. He is running, she's running behind him. Finally, she catches him. He goes outside the house. She also runs outside. Courtyard also is her dwelling only. Durāvāsō, not easy for her to contain him. Finally, she catches him. And then she says, I'm going to tie you to that mortar over there. When she tries to tie him, Durāvāsō, not easy to contain him, not easy to tie him up. 2 finger space, the length was insufficient. 2 represents Dvaita. I and you, separate from each other. I and mine, separate from each other. Jivatma, Paramatma, separate from each other. That one without a second state can never be arrived at. Anyway, she goes, she's wondering how that rope was not enough for her to tie Krishna to the mortar because Krishna is thin. But anyway, she goes, one more rope, she ties to this first rope, tries to tie him up to the mortar, 2 finger space, the length is insufficient. All the ropes in the house she ties one after the other and tries to tie Krishna to the mortar. Because she said, I will tie you up to the mortar. This I will tie you up to the mortar means I will bind you up in my heart. We can't bind him in our heart. He has to will it. He has to willingly, voluntarily bind himself in our heart. It's not something which we can do with our own effort, because I is there already. So she said, I will tie you up. She could not. He saw she was exhausted, tired. She said, Krishna, I've got so much of work to do now. Why don't you get yourself tied up so that I can attend to other work? I have to cook dinner only for you. She surrenders over there. When she says, please get yourself tied up quickly so that I can go and attend to other thing, she gives up her effort over this, her self-effort over there. The moment she says, please you get yourself tied up, suddenly the rope length is sufficient. She ties him up over there and then goes inside to do her work. Durāvāsō. Not easy at all to contain him or to tie him up, where in our own heart, with our own effort. Whatever be the path we have walked, spiritual path, bhakti, jnana, anything, even realization, dhyana yoga, jnana yoga, all our effort is only up to a certain level. Mukti, we can't reach mukti, we can't enter into mukti. The state of mukti or the state of enlightenment has to, from a higher level, it's like coming and overwhelming us who are at a lower level. It's like sleep. I want to sleep, I want to sleep, I want to sleep, we will never sleep. All that we have to do is we have to make ourselves, the environment conducive for sleeping. But even after doing all that, if we keep the thought in our mind, I want to sleep, I want to sleep, I want to sleep, we will never be able to sleep. We just have to let go of that also. Even the thought that I want to sleep, we have to let go. So at that point of time, sleep will come and overwhelm us. That's why we can never ever try to find out exactly at what time we slept. So it's like sleep from a higher level descending into us who are at a lower level. We have to invoke sleep, and finally sleep, Nidra Devi has to come and then embrace us or overwhelm us. Only then we can fall off to sleep. Even that we need. That is why Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Nidra Rupena Samstita. It's so beautiful when we end to end. Why she has been called a Nidra Rupena? Why? Of the form of sleep. This is ultimately the sleep has to come and overwhelm us. Similarly, over here, the state of mukti or enlightenment. This is Bhoga Nidra we are doing. That Yoga Nidra, Nidra Rupena, both ways we can interpret it. Nidra Rupena doesn't mean only everyday sleep. So every day if I don't get sleep, I will call her. That also she will help us to sleep. But that is Bhoga Nidra we are going through every day. Yoga Nidra also, she must bestow upon us. What is Yoga Nidra? The Samadhi Avastha or the state of enlightenment. Both she represents for us. Why? She represents Bhukti for us and Mukti also for us. Both she represents. So that which is there at a higher level must come and overwhelm us. So they say effort is only up to a certain level. After that, the state of enlightenment, that state has to come and overwhelm us. So that is what it means. So Yashoda also, as long as she was saying, I will tie you up, I will tie you up, she could not tie him up. Very durāvāsō, very difficult to fix him up to a place or put him inside a dwelling or a lodge or a house or any place. Why? He is beyond that. He is all pervading. Where will we fix him up? Or where will we lodge the Lord? So ultimately, Lord alone has to come and descend and stay in our heart. It is His will. So for that we have to keep doing our spiritual sadhana, our spiritual practices, and the Lord will decide when to come and stay within our heart. So durāvāsō, not easy, but if He comes and makes His abode in our heart, it becomes permanent. He is already there in us. It's a way of saying. Without Him we can't even do anything. Physically, mentally and intellectually nothing is possible without Him. But it's a way of saying. Now we have moved far away from Him as a Jivatma, as an individual. Therefore, we have to move again back towards Him. So therefore, durāvāsō, durārihā, one who is the one who slays or who destroys or who annihilates all the Rakshasas. So almost the meaning is the same, different names of the Lord.